Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen. On NIO. It's been a little while since I've done NIO, about a week or 10 days. And looks like things are maybe getting a little bit better. The lockdowns, the stupid lockdowns seem to be ending, certainly in Shanghai. We're going to talk about that. Then a possible new U.S. factory. We're going to talk all things NIO. All right, so it looks like NIO is planning a new U.S. factory. It says it looks like the main reasons primarily because cars from China are subject to a 25% import duty. And so now media outlets in China are reporting that NIO is looking at adding a factory in the United States. It says NIO has declined to confirm or deny the reports. There, got that a little bit bigger so we can see it better. So it looks like they're looking for candidates for somebody to handle the master plan project. It says they need to be familiar with U.S. state policies, design codes, and planning submission processes, and be familiar with U.S. process planning and master plan principles. It says NIO is supposed to have the intention of building a plant in the U.S. The position requires knowledge of U.S. state policies, et cetera, just like it said. And they've already got a self-driving research and development center in San Jose, California, as well as a software development team there. It says they're looking to hire an infrastructure specialist in San Jose. So it looks like that'd be the area they'd want to build it. And California has a lot of little perks for electric vehicles in that state. So I'm sure that's playing a little bit of a role too. And it said the founder, William Lee, said that NIO will enter Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, and Denmark in 2022. So obviously they're going into Europe pretty heavy. It says the goal is to sell its products in 25 countries and regions worldwide by 2025. So obviously they're looking for some serious growth. According to media reports at the time, the U.S., Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand were all included in the market expansion plan. So obviously that would be great for their growth plans. Like I say, they're just a little baby right now. And yeah, they sold a lot of cars last year, about 100,000, I believe. But that's just a drop in the bucket. And of course, they're going to have a sub-brand, a brand just below NIO that they'll build as well. It'll be more of a middle income type vehicle. Right now, they're selling basically premium vehicles. The ET7, the ET5 will be coming out, which will be a little lower priced. And of course, they've got their SUVs. The other big news is that Shanghai is aiming to get their business back to normal. And they've still got some hurdles, but it sounds like they're definitely working their way towards it. It says China's richest and most international city is trying to return to business as usual after a 2-month lockdown. So that's been rough. It says looks like they're going to start opening on Wednesday of this coming week. And of course, we know that a lot of the automakers, including Tesla, they were forced to suspend production temporarily. And I know NIO's had to pull theirs back quite a bit. And I think they got into that closed loop deal where a lot of people were actually sleeping there while they were building some of those vehicles. But of course, they couldn't sell any in Shanghai. It says authorities said they would work to ease unreasonable Rona rules. The government also plans to offer tax breaks and rent assistance to business and support other construction projects. They're going to reduce sales tax on passenger vehicles and hand out subsidies to those who replace their cars with purely electric ones. So they're going to not only cut taxes, but also give them a subsidy. And I believe NIO is going to add to that subsidy for any of their cars that are sold this month and moving forward till I believe in the end of the year. But remember, NIO went up on their prices, so it's not going to hurt them as much as you might think. So that's two good bits of news. And as you know, if you watch this channel, I can't understand the lockdowns in China, given the fact that this is the newest version of the Rona, which went through this country in about 6 weeks and gone through many countries that way, and we didn't have to shut down. So I don't understand why China's doing that. It just seems really dumb.
Thank you for playing, should we or should we not? Follow the advice of the galactically stupid!
Yeah, I was definitely not a fan of that. And like I said, you're dealing with pride. So you've got the leaders in China, they've got this pride thing where, hey, we locked down early on and look how great it worked for us, so we're going to do it again when this is a different animal. So like I said, hopefully they're coming around and realizing you don't have to destroy your entire economy for something that's going to do what it's going to do anyway. Now, our May numbers will be coming out real soon, in a day or two, and I am not expecting very much for May. Yeah, I'm definitely not over expecting. I think we're going to see Chucky again. And I thought after February we were done with this little bastard. But he came back in April and whooped us because of the lockdowns. And now we know May. May is going to be very difficult. So anyway, do not over expect in May. It'll probably be less than April. I'm thinking it's going to be probably 4,000, something like that.
Pain.
You know, we'll see. We'll know in a couple of days. So anyway, don't over expect. NIO is not a stock for everybody. You've got to really take a good hard look at the risk factors. And there are some special risk factors with NIO. That's right. Like I say, we already talked about the lockdowns. This should not last. I mean, it's just so dumb that I don't think this will last very long unless they just want to wreck their entire economy. Inflation, even China's having to deal with inflation due to supply chain problems. So, you know, that's affecting everything. That's why they had to go up on their prices. And then the whole delisting crap. Now, this is pretty serious, and they need to obviously get their head out of their booty on that because, look, companies need to be audited so that people that invest can feel comfortable with the numbers that they produce. And it's not that big a deal. Everybody has to do it. So China's been fighting that because that's what they do. They like to be difficult. But unless they want their hundreds of their companies to get delisted and really wreck them, just let them freaking look at your books. It's not that big a deal. Now, China's been speaking and saying things that makes it sound like they're going to let them audit it. But the SEC is going, well, you can say we're going to do it. We can even sign a paper, but until we actually see it, it's still going to be an issue. So we'll see how this plays out. China seems to be showing their hand and saying they're going to be cooperative. We'll see. But like I said, I think over time they will be able to audit those companies, especially the ones that aren't real sensitive to China's concern about infrastructure like Didi and a couple of others. So I would think with NIO, we're talking about vehicles here. That shouldn't be that big a deal. So I think it'll be okay there, but like I say, that's just my opinion. So do keep these in mind. These are very real risks. Like I said, I think the top two will take care of itself over time. This one, hopefully by the end of June, we'll have a pretty good answer on that. But like I said, time will tell. Now the stock itself, as you can see, it popped up from, dropped all the way down to the 14s. The lowest it got down to was high 12s, which was really surprising. Right now it's sitting around 1650. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting maybe a little bit of a bump Tuesday. We'll see. It really depends on what the entire market does, though. But we might see a little bit of that given those two good pieces of news about the U.S. factory and that the lockdowns in Shanghai, which is their biggest city. It's like over 20 million people in that. I mean, if you think about that, that's huge. That's crap. I don't know how big that is compared to the United States, but I mean, it's almost 10% of our population in one city. So, like I said, just to kind of keep an eye on that one. This is, not a bad entry point right in this area because long term, I like this company. I think these things will get worked out and this thing will go on back up. But, like I said, I'm willing to take that risk because the growth factor of this company is going to be massive in my opinion. So I could see this thing really working its way back up. But those issues that you saw with Dorothy are real. So if those get worked out, I think this stock will really go up. All right, folks, and that's a bit of good news there on NIO. It's good to get that. But like I said, it's your money. You do as you please with it. Like I said, I'm just telling you the things that I'm doing and sort of my opinion. And I feel good about NIO long term, but time will tell. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover NIO. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd certainly appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.